I've been I've been lax on getting things moved over to YouTube, but that was a project I did this morning. So hope everybody's doing good. Happy Saturday. Is anybody gonna turn your cameras on so I feel like I'm at least talking to someone? I don't have makeup on this morning either, so don't worry about it. I can't hear. Can you guys all hear me?
Sorry, was on mute. I'm driving.
Oh, totally fine. Okay, couple of housekeeping. One, we started a new Reels challenge. Um, it actually started yesterday, but I won't kick anybody out if you wanted to start today. But it's gonna go on over in the challenge chat. We're just gonna use that same chat over and over and over again for the challenges. So it's gonna go on over there. It's piggybacking off Lavelle dropped a sample promo where they're gonna give away. I'm gonna turn this off. This is making me hot. They're gonna give away $10,000 in sample dollars. So they're gonna randomly pick. So it's not even like the most person that produces the most samples. It's not even about like views or anything like that. It's just gonna be a random drawing of 20 promoters to get $500 in sample dollars. Like that is huge, guys. And that is such an attainable thing to win because not a lot of people use the sample system. So you want to make sure, please make sure, and I meant to drop this in the chat, if you are in the challenge, please make sure you're using the hashtag Thrive sample challenge, I believe it is. I always have to relook it up when I use it. So make sure you're using that hashtag because that's how they're tracking like your activity and stuff like that. So to get you into the drawing. I don't know how they're doing the drawing. They didn't say, but we all know what happened back in, was it January we did the Reels challenge or February? Like it was insane. It was so good for my business. It was so good for everybody's businesses. So and your engagement and that kind of thing. So if you, because a couple people had mentioned they don't have the $15 to do the opt-in, you can still do the challenge. You're just not going to be in the money. So don't think you can't still do the sample challenge or the Reels challenge and be a part of, at least do it, because let's face it, it's all about your activity on your business. You know, nobody can do it for you. So don't let the fact that you don't have an extra $15 right now stop you. Just do it anyway. It just, the $15 is more to like create accountability. I mean, let's face it, who stayed in those challenges and kept doing the do because they didn't want to lose money? I know that's me. And the last challenge was insane. Like it was a $25 buy-in and everybody got $61 that finished it. Like, come on. Like that's a no-brainer if you ask me. Like you'll never get a better return on your investment than these challenges between the money back and what it does for your business. So a Reels sample challenge going on now. Everybody that did them so far, you're doing a great job. So congratulations. We do also have a weekend customer promo, free sculpt for, I want to say orders over $150 and then free shipping for a higher than that order. So don't forget looping around to your sale list or people that haven't jumped. If they haven't jumped yet, it's just a timing issue and it's just your job to make sure that you're always presenting it to them. I will say it again. I love Project Broadcast for that because it 100% has made my life a lot easier to use Project Broadcast in that way. So, okay, today's Zoom is we're talking. Okay, go ahead, Becca. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Could you please send me your Project Broadcast link? Because I think you get like so many bonus credits if you use someone's link.
You do. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Project Broadcast, and here's the thing, it is something you pay for. But wow. I will have to dig into that, Becca. I don't want to waste, because I thought I could find it right away. And I'm sure once I'm actually focused on it, I can find it right away. So it is a paid service.
Okay.
but literally paying for text messages that you send out. And I will tell you, anybody else want Joellen and Lori, anybody else? Okay. Maybe we need to do a project broadcast training series then. Because, and I would have to say, I give 100% credit to Ange. She got involved in it. I had been looking at it for years, but it was more of, I didn't have the brain power to, and I know that's an excuse. I just didn't make the time to dig into it. And she did. She started loving it and she knew I would love it too. And literally came to my office at the salon. I don't know how, probably a year or more ago, and sat in my office and set it up for me. Like, she's like, this is, and it was so ridiculously easy. Like, and now that I have it, God, I wish I would have started it years ago when I first thought about it, because just the follow-up system with being able to follow up with people, like I'm big on putting them through a funnel. And if you've been on the Evo Squad long enough, you know, I have a funnel where I do follow-ups and it's never changed. It has stayed the same. You send the video, you follow up this exact way, and you then take it away from them. And I've coached that for years. Well, those people, when you take it away from them, it creates posture for you. It also, it does a few things. One, it creates posture for you where you're not constantly feeling like you are messaging the same people over and over and over again. Plus, you know, it actually works. When you go to take it away from them, a lot of times people are like, no, I've just gotten super busy. Like, don't give up on me, kind of thing. So, whereas all those people that I've taken it away from, if had I been using Project Broadcast, they would still be in my flow until they choose to leave. So this has been so incredible for my business to be able to, one, right now my sale list, hang on, I can tell you. My sale list is got 684 people in it. Those are people that buy on sale. Those are people that have asked me to keep them in the loop, because if somebody doesn't buy, like I had somebody yesterday that was a sampler and she loved the product. She's like, it's just not a good time for me right now because her daughter's getting married, blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason, I have a script where I say, no worries. Would you like me to add you to my sale list? I can keep you in the loop when the company drops promos. For whenever you're ready, you can catch a good deal. I could probably count on one hand how many people, and for as long as I've been preaching the sale list, which if you've been in Evo Squad long enough, I tell you every time, like, you got to start a sale list. So for as long as I've been doing a sale list, I probably could count on one hand how many people have told me, no, I'm just not, no, you don't have to do that. Usually people are like, yeah, keep me in the loop. So before, when a sale dropped, I would have to individually message those people. Now, and it's grown over the year or 2 years that I've been doing Project Broadcast. Now I'm going to create one text message and I can send it out to all of those people at one time. And not only that, like, I have over 1,000 people of customers that have accounts that I've never ordered. That when I like that time, I mean, I run through that list every once in a while with the daily promo, you know, and or the sales, you know. So people, that's a good way to keep in touch with people. I can't stress it enough. So I forget how we got onto Project Broadcast. Oh, just the sale list. Make sure I like totally got off track. But so we're back to basics, talking about pivot. Today's Zoom is talking about pivoting and presenting. And I know we coach on this a lot. I feel like, in fact, as I was writing my notes, I'm like, I feel like I talk about this all the time. But I also know it's very, very important. And sometimes you're just going to hear information just a little bit different. So, and then some people catch, we got, you know, decent amount of people that watch our replays, whether they're on our team or not, because they do go up on YouTube. Here's the information. So pivoting, last week we talked about finding people, how to find people and start conversations. Pivoting is really, I think is very easy. I'm always looking for something in that conversation to ask them if they want to take a look at the product or the opportunity. At this time in my career, and like I had said last week, like there's things I did in the beginning, and a lot of things are very different than I do now. So in the beginning, it was a lot of reach outs. It was a lot of direct messages. It was a lot of like, hey, are you open to taking a look? Now it's more of I do call to actions on my posts or my stories, and then people ask for information. That just is a time thing. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the consistency to get there. But please know I still reach out. Like I'm still doing things like right now I'm using the sample thing for birthdays. I know Mindy has done this for I can't tell you how long. But I just got new verbiage that I'm super excited about from the Mayhem Challenge. So if you're not in that, definitely jump in that group and at least check out the videos. There's been so much great information going on over there that I'm still learning every day. But so that's getting me lots of people. I just had someone, I woke up to a message this morning that I said, hey, I said that, hey, I'm running to the post office since it was just your birthday. Can I send you a free sample of Thrive? And she's like, I've never heard of it. So that's my cue to then present. So we're talking about pivoting and presenting. If you have any questions about anything, please stop me because I'm just going to ramble because I feel like I could talk about this stuff forever. But for me, that was my opportunity to present, and I have a text replacement in my phone. I still use text replacement. I am not a big boards user. Not that I don't think the boards tool is a really good option. I'm just a text replacement user. So I have a text replacement in my phone that says it's a simple 3-step vitamin system that gives me clean all day energy. And then I've got my product video. Okay. Then they go in my funnel. And we're going to talk about follow-ups on a different week. Today's not the follow-up day, but then they go in my funnel. So how to pivot the conversation. One, you just have to ask people. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It 100% works. But I'm not a big person that searches the newsfeed for people that are saying they're tired or they need money or anything like that. That's just doesn't sit with me. So it's not something I do. I'm not saying it doesn't work. And if you come to me, and a lot of people have come to me and said, hey, my friend from Ohio just posted on Facebook that she's so exhausted. How do I start that conversation? I will first say, this is not usually something I do, but how you can start the conversation is just reaching out to her authentically. I never want your audience to feel like they can't post something about their personal life because you're going to pounce on them, if that makes sense. Now, if you are already having conversations and you're already talking to this person, this is a great way to be like, girl, like I just saw, then that's a really great way to go into that conversation. But if it's somebody you haven't seen somebody you haven't talked to for 4 years, and like, I think nothing is cheesier, and this is just my opinion. Please understand, it's my job as your leader or your upline to teach you there's many paths up the mountain. It's your job to figure out which one works for you. But for me, I would never go on somebody's post and go, oh, you should try Thrive. Like, I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me. You can go into her DMs and be like, oh, I feel ya. I used to be there. I found something that works. Would you be interested in hearing about it? Like, I found something that has helped me. I am big on that second yes, and that's where Ray Higdon has completely pounded that into my head about the second yes. Like, don't jump on them if they didn't ask for the information. Are you interested in hearing about it? Is it something you would like me to tell you about? I found something that works. Would you like me to tell you about it? So in my opinion, that's a good way to pivot the conversation that way. The other thing I know people get stuck with is sometimes just starting that conversation, but that goes back to just having conversations, just going in and saying hi, saying, looping through your Facebook list, getting to know people. You know, they say start to build a relationship. I am of that opinion where I hate small talk. So I am definitely of the opinion of, you know, ask the question and then build the relationship later. But that's just my opinion. Lots of people feel like they need to get to know people to be able to pivot that conversation. Bottom line is, if you are having regular conversations in the DMs, talking to people, you will find ways to pivot the conversation. It's just a matter of training your eye. You know how sometimes people, you know, you just have to refine that eye for anything, whether it's like, you know, Mindy and I come from the hair background, like we have a refined eye when it comes to how things should look. You know, Christy's in the, you know, the puppy business. She has an eye for how puppies should look, or pottery, or, you know, whatever. It's the same thing with refining your eye with having that conversation. You're going to catch those moments when you can pivot. And sometimes it just takes just being direct, being like, hey, have you ever tried Thrive? Have you ever considered it? Have you ever, you know, have you ever thought about starting a side gig? Have you ever thought about, you know, doing network marketing or getting into something? It's just a matter of just doing it, jumping in, doing it. Same thing with closing the sale. It's very similar. Like, just do it. Just ask the question. You're not going to die if they say no. And if you don't do it in a weird way, like if you act like it's somebody you're sitting next to on a park bench talking, they're not going to be offended. You know what I mean? Like, and that's another good tip is talk to this person like you're sitting next to them, not a robot through a screen. And sometimes if you're having issues, or not issues, but if you're struggling coming up with some verbiage, sometimes reading it aloud in front of a mirror, and if it feels weird, then it sounds weird. So just keep that in mind. And then presenting, once you get to that point where you're like, hey, would you be interested in the products I take for energy? Or would you be interested in, or let's just say you're posting correctly and somebody does come to you and say, what, you know, what's that sticker you're wearing? Or talk to me about the side gig you do. You need to be able to present correctly and efficiently and not get all stuck in your head. Lots of people just, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to tell them, because you are afraid to say anything, because now we coach you not to word vomit. Now you're like, you don't even know what to do. So I would go for very, very specific scripts, and I can put them in the chat here. So if somebody comes to me and says, like the person this morning, when I wished her happy birthday this week, her, you know, she replied to me, we had a little dialogue, and I'm like, hey, I'm running to the post office. Would you like a free sample of Thrive since it was just your birthday? She's like, I don't even know what it is. This is, my text replacement's gonna work here. There we go. This is what I sent her. It's a simple 3-step vitamin system that I take every morning that gives me crazy good, clean, all day energy, sleep support, joint support, mood support, better hair, skin, nails, gut health, and weight management. Check out the video. Now for the sample, I definitely would have removed, if this is something you'd be interested in, I can send you pricing. But this is a video that I did about the products. Now I did it lots of years ago, but it still works. It's still fine. So finding a very simple way that you can then fire these off very quickly and not get stuck in your head. It's all about like shutting your brain off and just getting to work. Now, if somebody asks me about the opportunity, I have to think about. They're so. I gotta look it up. I haven't used this one in a while because I've been so sample focused. Let me. Does everybody know how to use text replacement? There it is. I was right. I just didn't have enough letters. When somebody asks me about the opportunity, I say, awesome, check out this quick video. All the information is there. If it looks like something you're interested in, give me a thumbs up when you're done. So being able to pivot very fast, you guys can use these videos too. My opportunity video is used by a lot of other teams in Lavelle. I don't think there's anything special about it. It's just, in fact, I went to go redo it to make it more current because it was like from COVID. And I don't even look like that anymore. But I went to redo it. I took notes. I'm like, why reinvent the wheel this video? No wonder people use it. It is actually very good and it covers everything. Not that I'm trying to toot my own horn, I'm not. But it's definitely comprehensive. Angie also has a very similar video. I highly recommend using someone else's video just because it shows people that they can do this too. So it tends to look a little better if it's not your video. I just created this one because nobody else had one that I liked. So being able to present the opportunity is also very important, that you can present it in a way that it's quick. It gives them the information they're looking for. It gives them options. Like this one will actually walk them through the 3 packs. And it's very easy for you. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about like, what do I say? How many times would you get stuck in your head because somebody's like, all right, talk to me about what you do. Are you fully prepared to have that conversation? And very easily. So I find a lot of people don't, I talk to people that are like, I'm just not enrolling promoters, but then I find a quick look at their pages. They're not talking about the opportunity, and they're not talking about the opportunity because they don't know how to present correctly. So this is all I do. When somebody asks about the product, that's the script I send them. When they ask about the opportunity, that's the script I send them. Then I put them in my follow-up funnel, which we'll talk about. I want to say it's probably next week. So definitely refine your eye on ways to pivot the conversation, or just get really good about being direct. I would much rather somebody jump in my inbox simply because I have so many messages that come through. Just get to the point. Like, don't hold this whole conversation with me that makes me feel rude if I leave you on red. Just get to the point. You know what I mean? So that's the way I would prefer to be handled. So that's the way I prefer to do things. Just ask them, are they interested in a sample of Thrive? Ask them, are they interested in the opportunity, which I do need to go back through my Facebook list and just get super direct with the opportunity again, because I catch people every time I do it, because I've been talking to them for years. I've got people that I've messaged a couple of times a year, whether they message me back or not, for years. So doesn't feel as weird to me anymore because it's just so consistent. But anyway, does anybody have any questions about what I just put up for you guys? Or questions about pivoting the conversation or presenting the opportunity, or is there anything specific right now you're struggling with you'd like some answers, because we have a few minutes? What, Becca? I see the look on your face. No?
I will message you. I'm not asking you on the recording.
This is body language for I have something to say, but I'm trying to keep my lips shut because I've been just geeking out on body language on IG. So, all right. Anybody else? We're going to go into a work with me. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch today, so we're only going to do a 30-minute work with me today. And then I encourage you to either keep going or do another 30 minutes later. But let me go potty quick and then I'll be back. If you're not
Hey,
hanging
Jen,
out.
I have a
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
The Reels challenge, every reel is for samples, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure that we're doing every one. I'm watching, looking at others to see what they're doing to get ideas. So, okay.
Yeah. And if you have done sample reels before, I'm not creating new reels. I'm just using the ones I've done before.
Okay.
So there for a while, I was making so much content that I'm just reusing them. So go to TikTok, because if you've done it like me, I've created them all in TikTok. They were uploaded those first. You can download them. You can then scrub the TikTok logo off and reuse them
Okay.
over and over and over again. So, but here's what I also want you to, don't just post sample reels. Otherwise you're going to tank your algorithm. So this is also a push to make sure you're pushing out some other content Because if you just post sample reels, you're gonna tank your algorithm. So keep that in mind, push out other
I was
content.
wondering.
And then make sure you're using the Lavelle hashtag so you get credit with them too.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Anything else? All right. If you're not
Yes.
okay, but
Just real quick about that. I thought the Lavelle one, and I read through it again. It says when you are sending them out to tag them in the picture or reel of you like gathering your samples that you are going to mail out. Did I misunderstood what the poster said?
no,
in the
but maybe I
connector?
did.
Okay,
So,
all right. I'll look again.
yeah, so that is going to be confusing because I don't do them that way. I do them through the Lavelle system.
Yeah, like I thought that's what it said, but I can check again because after the Reels challenge started, I thought, oh, well, maybe I misunderstood it, but I don't know.
Maybe somebody should ask support because and maybe that was just a suggestion on what to do, not that that was. Let me go read it. I have it saved.
I was wondering that too, because I don't have ones to use through the system.
Mhm.
So I send my own, so.
That's fine. You know, it is way more expensive for you to do it that way.
I don't know.
Like I ran the numbers. It is way more expensive.
Here,
Okay.
let me flip. Pillows.
Post a video or picture on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok of your samples being mailed out and use the hashtag. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's not what I'm gonna do, but go ahead. If that's what, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I'll do it on all of them, but
Yeah, that's what I was thought. I just
I
keep doing
don't.
that on all of them.
I'll message support today and,
they're not open today.
well, I know, but I'll type one
So-
up so I remember to send it
Yeah.
Monday.
And then just say if we do, I mean, you could do it in your stories. Post a video picture. So if you're gonna mail them out yourself, I would do that to make sure you're covering it. Yeah, I guess I could switch to doing it that way. But the sample system is way easier and way cheaper. Huh?
When you're done recording and you stop, like, then I'll